Ooh. That ain't gonna work. Don't you hate watered down soda? What's going on, YouTube? You and the tube. So, catch you guys up on a little bit of what's been going on. I don't understand what that stream bot running crap is. No, what? Oh. So, ew, my hand stinks. Yeah. So catch you guys up on what's been going on. Just today, I guess, was what we'll talk about. Let's see. So, we got the truck. The truck is in our possession. I have keys somewhere at home. No, I don't, because they're in the real car. They're inside this car, which is the keys of the truck. So we went and had a DOT inspection done. That went surprisingly fast. It was done at a truck stop, so I really don't think it was all that great. I think they just whatever passed DOT, blah 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 blah. Because when we got to the place to get the DOT inspection done, I went to climb out the truck and I smelled coolant, and I was like, that ain't right. So I told the guy, I was like, I got mentioned in the comments. Sorry, guys. So we got the DOT. We got to go get the DOT done, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we gotta look it over." And he's like, "With Landstar, their DOT inspection is a little more heavier than normal." So I'm feeling all like cool, because I like told the dude, I'm like, all right, yeah, because I smell coolant on as I get out the truck. And since it came from a dealership, I was assuming maybe it wasn't coolant. I was like, all right, it could be like, whatever they use to clean off the engine with. Maybe I was smelling that or something. So I told him, I was like, can you take a look at that? And he's like, yeah. And granted, we did not do a lot of, the whole tearing it apart. I'm going to be a badass mechanic. I'm not. I'm a truck driver. I know certain things to look at, whatever. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a truck driver. Just like the mechanic I was talking to the other day, he's a mechanic, not a truck driver. So that was that. So, like literally 15, 20 minutes later, they go, all right, you're good to go. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, that was pretty quick, because I was expecting it to be like at least an hour or something. I don't know. So we got the DOT's inspection, and most people at this point would have been like, all right, I'm good, and they would have left. But me and Justin talked about it, and we decided we were gonna go spend. I think it cost us, I think it was a little over $230 or maybe $33. I don't remember exactly what it was. So we took the truck over to Freightliner and had it DOT'd, or not have it DOT'd, we had it put on the dyno. And I want to say maybe half an hour, 40 minutes later, they call us and they're like, well, we can't continue with the dyno because the truck is overheating. We got a problem going on there. So we're like, all right, cool. So we went in to go pick up the truck so we could take it back to Landstar and let them know that the dyno, it started overheating the dyno. And they believe, and we believe, it just might be a clogged, what the hell, the radiator. So I'm like, cool. So I'm thinking they're going to give us the keys and we're going to get to come back and start over again fresh. But no, that costs. What's up? Enjoying the show? Thanks for stopping in, brother. But so I'm thinking they're just going to give us the keys back, and we run it back over to Lone Mountain and see if. Thanks for the thumbs up, brother. And take it back over to them, and let them figure it out, and then come back and restart the dyno again. But no, I had to pay for them not being able to do the little bit they did on the dyno, which was basically nothing. But come to find out, Landstar, I guess, is going to pay for that failed dyno, which is huge. And so we dropped the truck off at the truck stop, and then we went and got something to eat, came back. I had to take a nap because I feel like a weight has been taken off the shoulders by having a truck. So now I napped for like 2 hours, and that means I'm going to be up until like 4 o'clock in the morning to get up at 8 and go take the truck back. Now, for you guys that are watching these videos in the recorded state, here's something I want to say to you. I've been making YouTube. I'm still a rookie. What's a dyno? Good question. Good question, enjoying the show. Basically, a dyno is, okay, so, when it, you've probably seen it on TV, they take a motorcycle or a car or something and go put it on that thing, and they can make the car go as fast as it can so they can check pull and power and how many horsepower is kicking out and all this other stuff. That's a dyno. And I don't know the whole name for it, but dyno is short for it. And basically what they do is they hook the truck up all these probes and whatnot, and then they basically put the truck under stress as if it was pulling a fully loaded trailer. Cool. So so that they put the truck under stress, so as if it's, let's say you're pulling your 40-some thousand pounds, 50,000 pounds, whatever the hell it is, so they can see what the truck's gonna do, or if it has any faults, because you can test drive a truck and it'll be fine when it's just bobtail and it's not under, it doesn't have 40,000 pounds or 30,000 pounds sitting in the box, and you're not going up, Mount Everest or something. So basically that's what it's testing. They're seeing how the truck's going to do, because at that point you put a load, it's called putting the truck under load. So they basically put the truck under load, and then it kicks out any codes or whatever, or, maybe something in the engine's working too hard, or truck isn't breathing well enough, or whatever the hell it is. So with that, I do have to say, guys, if you are going to buy a truck, and I believe, Justin and I were just talking about this, and I think that's what happens to a lot of people. I mean, which is one of the reasons why I don't suggest, I don't hype companies. I've been through quite a few companies, and I don't hype them because some people do good there, and some people do horrible. I mean, I've been in companies where I was either not doing good at all, where there's other people I talk to, it's, that company's the bee's knees. So, which is why I don't amp companies up. I mean, if you want some knowledge on like what my experiences were by being at a company, I'll do it. And this is why I really want you guys, and I really want people to see these videos, because it is super damn important. I mean, what me and Justin figured out, or Justin and I figured out, is that I think this happens. I'm pretty sure people go, you know what, I'm gonna go buy a truck and it's $3,000 down, because this is what I did when I bought my first truck. I mean, I was damn near broke after I got that truck. I got that truck. I only had like I maybe $1,000 in my pocket, maybe after I bought the truck. But I thought I was doing something. I didn't go dyno that truck. I didn't go have it looked at by somebody else. I went barely understanding anything about it. Like I could fix cars, I could do all that fun stuff, but I did not have the knowledge on semi trucks. So that's why we decided to go spend almost $300 to go get this thing dynoed. So basically, catch up on the dyno. We get there, and it overheated. So now we got to take it back in the morning to Lone Mountain and have the trucks. The Freightliner told us that they think it's just a clogged radiator. So if that's the case, then that's just a simple flush. Hopefully that's the problem. They are gonna pay for the next dyno, so it ain't like we got to go back again and pay another couple $100 to have the truck dynoed again. Well, we are, but we'll be repaid by Lone Mountain. I understand. So that's why it's important, guys. If you're buying a truck, I mean, have money. Like one of the things. I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur my whole entire life. It's just who I am. I don't choose to be an entrepreneur. It's not a choice. I'm not like, okay, it's time to go to college. What should I be? Being an entrepreneur might sound fun and all that stuff. So that's not my choice. I don't really have a choice. I don't have a choice saying, you know what, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go work at this place, and then come home and kiss the kids goodnight and kiss the wife goodbye in the morning when I go back to. That's just not my life. I love business. So spend the money if you're going to buy the truck. Make sure you have enough money. I mean, and it's not like we had a ton of money. I think together we had maybe a little over 10 grand together. This, and you got to understand, like, we didn't know what you guys are seeing us go through that we went through. I mean, it was. I'll talk about the last day before we got approved for the truck, but you cannot. I mean, you could close your eyes and swing at a ball and maybe get a hit, but it's better to go in there having been to batting cages and stuff like that and practice. And I was just telling my son the other day, I'm like, he wanted to go to the cages, and I'm like, well, I got a tee in the backyard. Let's go hit the ball off the tee. And he's like, I don't want to. I'm 10 years old. I don't need to hit off of a tee anymore. And I'm like, Steven, or Cool Steven, as you guys might know him as. I'm like, do you understand that professional players are still hitting off a tee to this day? And they make millions of dollars a year to hit a baseball? So, yeah. I mean, I think out of pocket to get the truck, excluding dyno, excluding DOT, and excluding everything, just to get the truck from lot to keys in my hand, was about 4 grand, which was not that bad. But we spent a week, maybe a little over a week in Atlanta. So there was a rental car from Indiana to Atlanta. I think we did 2 rental cars. Well, we took one from Indiana to Atlanta. Then we got another one, a truck, which we had for like 2 or 3 days. And then we took the truck back, got the Durango, which we're in now. And you're talking about 7-8 days of hotel rooms, food every day. So I know for sure that we have spent well over 2,000 just on getting to this point. I mean, at least, bare minimum would have to be 2 grand. So that's on top of the 3 that it took us to get from the, getting keys in our hands. So we're probably about 5 grand, and then on top of that we have the 2290, which is a highway tax that has to be paid. We had to pay insurance. You know, that was probably about, I don't remember exactly how much that was. It wasn't cheap. So, I mean, there's been a lot of out-of-pocket costs. I mean, we're back in the hotel again. We probably will be for the next 2 or 3 days, you know, so all I'm saying is, guys, make sure you're prepared to foresee the extras. And this is tough for me to say because I am prime example of be like, no, I mean, you can ask Trucker Will. I will be the first one to hop in. I'm hopping in the deep end. Thanks for the extra thumbs. I appreciate it. You know, I'm the first one to jump in the deep end, just test the waters. And you know, my wife, she's always told me too. She's like, you know, you're such an entrepreneur. You want to start a business, but you don't have any money, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it would be easier to start businesses with, you know, with having money, but understand it. And I think that's why if you go and look up these trucking companies and you see bad reviews, that's because they didn't have the money to go into this properly. You know, like me and Justin, we're going to be teaming. Most truck drivers don't want to be teams. You know, they want to own the road themselves and, you know, sleep when the sleeping time, not have to worry about the truck. Boom, 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 boom. But, you know, these are sacrifices that we're making to get to the point where we want to be. And what did Enjoy in the Show say? You are the first YouTuber I've seen talk about getting a truck dyno tested before purchasing. we dynoed after purchasing. Tested before purchasing. Good info. Keep in mind if you and when I leave my current company. Please do, man. Go back and, I mean, learn. All I'm saying is, guys, learn from my mistakes. I wish I was as smart as you guys is. There's Justin. I wish I was as smart as you guys were to actually come and like watch YouTube videos before jumping in. And I didn't, when I first got into this, I just called companies and whoever wanted me to come drive for them and they were going to teach me, I just did. So this is beautiful knowledge that's out there that's for free. Because, you know, the problem with the internet is the good thing about the internet is there's a bunch of opportunity and information out there. But the bad thing about the internet is that there is a bunch of opportunity and information out there. So I try to be as transparent as I possibly can with you guys. You know, I'm not full of shit. You know, like me and Trucker Will, we were just talking last night about, you know, because he asked me, because I think I said in one of my videos, which is something I am doing going forward, is that I am not going to show paychecks. It's not going to be about money anymore. And then he's asked me, he's like, well, because Will does settlement Fridays. Well, he used to do them all the time. Now he's not doing them as much. And he's like, well, why are you doing settlement Fridays? What do you look for out the windows? We got a creeper out there?
I was just shooting looking.
So he asked me, he's like, well, why are we not going to do settlement Fridays anymore? Or he goes, well, not why he's not going to do, but he asked me why I don't talk about settlements. Because if I call Justin, or me and Justin are talking, he's like, oh yeah, I'm over here at Tradition Transportation. Dude, I'm killing it. Life is good. Blah, 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 I'm making all this money. Well, guess what? Justin drives differently than I do. Justin may be really good at waking up in the morning. Actually, he is, because he's demonstrated it. I'm not. I mean, Justin will sleep in his truck with, you know, in the middle of winter when it's like negative 27. I am not. I'm going to idle. So my tendencies and how I drive is not going to get the same result as Justin does. And somebody else may come in, you know, you might be younger, you might be 23, 24 years old, and, you know, you come in and, I mean, I remember being 23, 24, you couldn't tell me shit, nothing.
wasn't tired back then.
What?
I wasn't tired back then.
You can come, people can come sit down.
I know.
I mean, you've never been in any of the videos, but you have to be like right here. Come on, Justin. Justin. Yeah, maybe he'll come over here. I don't know. We'll leave it open to him if he does want to come in. Let's see your face be right about. Yeah, that'd be good. So that's why, and I ended up telling Will, I'm like, that's why I will not talk. Hello. Oh, Mr. Harrison, what's going on, sir? That's why I will not talk money anymore. I'll tell you if I'm doing good or bad. Like, if I go to a company and they're just full of shit and there's no money to be made, or it's really hard to make money. Now, let's talk about that leasing thing versus being an owner-op, which, again, like I said, we have a huge road in front of us. We have a big learning curve that we're going to have to take. You know, it's just like the first day you got into a truck. You know, I didn't know how to drive it. I wasn't born in one. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Miss Harrison. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. You know, I had to learn, and I know we have a learning curve, and I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm about to be out there like making it rain. If I'm lucky, maybe we will. I don't know. But I know we have a learning curve, and I understand that things are going to happen. I mean, then that's just life. I mean, no one gets out. Well, I don't think anybody gets up and walks before they crawl. I think I've heard of that before, but anyway, it happens. So, but like I said, I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. Hopefully tomorrow we get the truck fixed. I lost brain thought, and I don't think Justin's coming. So, if anybody's watching this video recorded, at this point, I'm gonna go answer some of these questions. So if you want to stop watching here, this is just all question and answers at this point. Let's see what we got here. Boop, boop, boop. Live chat, all messages visible. What was that? Oh. Whoa, there's a lot. Okay. Enjoying the show coming through. 10-4, I understand. You're the first YouTuber I've seen talk about getting a Dino tested before purchasing. Good idea. To keep in mind when I leave. Learning from your mistakes, like not running into a guardrail. Oh, you remember that? I didn't run into the guardrail. The guardrail attacked me. Like, I was trying to get back on the road, and the guardrail reached out. It was getting a little too guardy. I've learned a ton from you. I just started leasing a truck last week. Oh, all right, Mr. Josh Miller. And you know what? I can say, you know, once you make it, I mean, and not everybody, you know, let's talk about that for a second. Not everybody wants to own a truck. I have met many of people. I mean, Trucker Al, you can go check out his channel. He did it. He went from CR England, went and leased a truck, decided he didn't like it. Now he's back at, where now is Al at? Crete. Now he's back at Crete. Company driver. That's what he likes. That's what he wants to do. Kudos to him. I mean, I've met people that want to just continually keep leasing trucks. That's all they want to do. They want to be in a new truck all the time. We're in a 2016. You know, they don't want that. They want to be in the new 2020 or new, 2021. There's nothing wrong with that, And then, Justin and I, we want to be owner operators. We don't want to own a truck. I mean, there's people out there that want to own their truck. That's fine. We want to own a fleet. We want to own trucks, kind of like Illinois, but you have to say the S. So figure out, and you going over to become a lease operator is huge, because that is going to, depending on, if you want to go to the point where you want to own a truck or trucks or whatever, you're going to learn a lot from leasing.
Yeah, but don't expect to make a bunch of money either.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, a bunch of money is different to everybody else. I mean, You know, like me and Will, we talk. Bring your happy ass over here. You're gonna say shit. Um, you know, me and Will talked about that bunch of money thing. You know, it's like, you know, not to toot our horns. Justin and I, we've been eating out a lot, and you know, we leave a $20 tip for our server. They're like, "Oh my god, did you mean to leave $20?" We're like, dude, I mean, $20 is not the same to a truck driver that it is for the person you know working at the Waffle House. You know, so it's a different thing. So you know, that's again. So anyway. So, but being a lease operator is going to teach you a lot because I know when I went from company driver to lease, I never thought about fuel. I had a fuel card. I didn't care how much it was. I had no clue. I knew it was over $3, basically, almost. I know I put half my mortgage payment in there a day to fill it up. That's what I did know. But now you know, like, oh, you know what? I've had to learn what IFTA is, and should I get it fuel in this state or that state, or you know, depending on IFTA, how much fuel. You know, I've learned that I don't want fuel in PA. PA is ridiculous. They have the highest IFTA in any of the states. So being leasing, if you want to get to the point where you're an owner operator, and all I can talk about is up to this point because I haven't gone any farther than hey, you have a truck. That's about it. But there's definitely steps to be learned being a lease operator. I mean, I've met people that they've leased a truck and paid for it twice or 2 times they've done it. You know, because that's just what they do. I guess I don't know. It's not good for me. It's good for them. So it is what it is on that point. I've learned stuff for you. I just okay, yeah. What's up, man? What's up, Big Red? Look at all the people hopping there. I need to start going live more often. Big Red, I haven't seen you in a minute. What we got? Do you miss CR England that much? Did you get a red truck? Nah, I got whatever truck they give us, man. But like I always say, CR England is home. It's good money both ways, but I was born with hustle. Question. When you lease or owner op, how do you get dispatched? I drive locally for a company, so I'm just thinking information for future career endeavors. Okay, that differs between company from company. It just depends on how the company's set up. I mean, there's people that lease on the companies that are owner operators, and they just get dispatched by a dispatcher. We will be going to Landstar. At Landstar, I know this for sure. Well, I assume this to be for sure. I've seen several drivers make videos about being at Landstar, and you know when you grow up, you know you're a baby and you need your parents there all the time, 24/7, or you will kill yourself. That's what it's like being a trainee, being a driver, and all that other fun stuff. And then you get to the point where you're like in junior high school or high school or whatever, and your parents don't really have to watch you that much. Yeah, you got to check in. That's what kind of like being a lease operator for a company that dispatches you. Then you can ask like my daughter who's in college. They don't call you if you ain't in class. They'll be like, Michaela, I'm Shane here. They don't care. I don't even think they do. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I didn't finish high school.
Neither did I.
Fuck school.
Yeah.
Make more money than I would anywhere else.
Yeah. There's
Not sure if voted for the railroad.
There's this one meme I seen, and where the guy is driving a truck and he's like staring out the window, and he goes, "This is for all the teachers that said I'd never make anything staring out of a window." So, but anyway, so then you have companies like Landstar. Landstar, dude, if you want to go home for 41 run, if you want to run one load every 2 weeks, that's on you.
Well, if you take their trailer, you kind of go home for 2 weeks. They'll send someone to take it off your truck.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
2 weeks? So I guess the Landstar, after 2 weeks, they come take your trailer back. But
if you're not using it, someone needs it.
Right, somebody needs it. That makes sense. So when you're at the owner operator level, I mean, it's up to you. You want to lease on to somebody where they dispatch you, or you dispatch yourself. And I'm really looking forward to being able to dispatch
When you
myself.
first start, you need someone to dispatch you till you learn.
As being owner operator.
When you're leasing.
Oh, when you're
At
leasing.
first,
yeah.
You need someone because you don't know the freight lanes. So.
Are you gonna talk over here and come over and sit down and talk? I mean, and there's things to that. I mean, like we have an app, and we have a fairly large group, and we're all on Life 360, and it's funny. There's got to be 6, 7 of us, and we're at least 3 to 4 different companies, and you can see like where everybody majorly is, and most of us are in the East Coast. That's where the money is. You know, I've learned from just watching the companies. That's where the money is. So if you want to be somebody like, oh, I don't go any farther north than the 70, then you got to understand, like, okay, you're gonna learn things like, you may make $2 a mile or $2.50 a mile to run down to Pennsylvania, or not. I mean, run down to Florida. But guess what? You ain't making shit coming out. You might have to deadhead up to Georgia to get a good enough load, or like Justin does. When we were at Tradition, he would, take a Toyota load all the way up to Maine, and he would deadhead back to Pennsylvania because he just wasn't making the money to come back there loaded. He wasn't making the money he needed to make. And those are options you have to take. And I'm gonna sneeze eventually. Why can't you just tap the screen and the messages come back up? Oh, messages. Question: when you lease or owner operator, how do you? Oh, okay, dispatch yourself. No, they don't care if you are there in class or you're just. Well, that is true. That's for sure. They just want your money, and as I understand it, that's what Lone Star is going to be about. And one of the things that actually me and Justin were talking about, which is probably going to happen, we're probably going to go lease our own trailer out from somewhere else until we build up enough capital to buy our own. Because Landstar does not have reefer trailers, and I want a reefer trailer just because I want that option to be able to look at dry loads. Now, with getting a reefer trailer, there are going to be some dry loads that we're not going to be able to do. Like paper rolls. That's something Justin brought up. I'm okay with that. I know in England there was plenty of dry freight. I pull plenty of dry freight in a reefer. But the nice part is if you're down in Florida, you got a better chance of getting a reefer load out of there than you do a dry van load. You got to figure out what they produce, in that area to come out of. So if you guys ain't got any more questions, I think I'm done. We're at 34 minutes. You guys got 20 seconds. 20 seconds to ask questions. Alright guys, 15 seconds. As always guys, left door closed, right foot down, only when it's safe guys. And keep watching, and probably tomorrow there'll be some more videos. Thanks for answering my question. No problem. Thank you for asking the question. I appreciate it. As always, guys, man, stay safe. Peace.